Arguably the greatest ever German midfielder, Toni Kroos, just announced that he's retiring from football after the season. This has been the best season by Kroos since joining Real Madrid. Many of us saw this coming because of all the emotion that he's been showing throughout the season. And he's always said he wanted to leave on top. He's finally in the hunt for the Ballon d'Or. He's made it to his 7th Champions League final, and he's having his best season. We signed him from Bayern Munich over 10 years ago after they refused to pay him the same salary as Mario Götze. He said he wanted to leave on top, and he's certainly doing that. The gap that's going to be left by him in our team is going to be massive because there's nobody that has the same profile as him in the team at all. Luka Modric is the closest thing, but he's 39 years old. But I don't know what this means for Real Madrid in terms of, do they go into the transfer market and try to find a replacement for him who provides the same progressive passing and line breaking, or do they try to mold the other players in the squad into that position? You can either try to fit somebody like a Camavinga or Valverde and put them in those shoes, but obviously they don't give you the same type of quality on the ball. In terms of ball progression, he gave us something that there's no football player in the world that does what he does as well as him. So the simple answer is you don't replace him, but you find a different way to play football. To me, this guy is incredible. He's one of my favorite players of all time. I classify football fans in one of two categories. Number one, either you're a dumbass and you think that Toni Kroos is a sideways passer and tells me you don't know anything about football, or B, you actually understand the game of football. You understand the genius of this guy, the way he progresses the ball forward, the way that you cannot press this guy. You cannot do it. Like, if you are pressing him, he'll find a way to pass the ball behind you, and he's just eliminated one person out of that play. His ability to just read the game and move the ball forward is second to none. And I think part of the reason why he doesn't get the recognition that he really deserved throughout his career is because he doesn't do anything too fancy. He just passes the ball better than any other player in the world, but he doesn't take an extra touch when he doesn't need to do it. He's all about making sure the team functions well. So many players will talk to you about how he dictates the tempo. When he wants to speed up the game, he does. When Real Madrid wants to slow down the game and take control of the match, they do through him. There's so many. We have not lost one Champions League final with him starting, because you just know that even when the team's ahead and we're being pressured, and the opposition is trying to win the ball back, and they go and they sprint at him trying to tackle and win the ball back, you just can't do it. He'll find a pass. He'll play Vinny through. He'll find Cristiano Ronaldo over the top. Huge loss to the team. Huge loss to have this guy not renew next year, because we were hoping at least to have one more season with him and at least try to identify somebody in the market who can come in and try to do the same role as him. But there's nobody in our team right now who can fill those shoes. There's just not. So we're going to have to find a way to balance the squad without him, because he really gave us a ton of balance. And another thing to not forget is when he came to us, he was more of a number 10. He played as a number 10 in the World Cup with Germany before he came over to Real Madrid, because he played in the World Cup for Germany, won the World Cup, came to Real Madrid, and he was playing more in that 10 role. And he came to us and he was playing on that left side of that 8. And eventually, under Carlo, he's played it as a 6. He's played all these different roles, but he's found a way to be excellent in all the positions in which he played, whether he was playing as a 8 or a 6 for us, but we also got to see him as a 10, and he was also an excellent player as a 10 as well. So crazy stat that he will leave Real Madrid with, which is a 94% accuracy rate. He is the greatest passer in the history of the Champions League, and his progressive passing and progressive passing into attacking third, he is number 1 in both categories. This is a generational talent. This is a guy that not just on the field, but off the field, when guys like Jude are coming to Real Madrid and they try to mimic what a consummate professional looks like, they look to him. They look to players like Kroos. They look at the guys like Luka Modric. So huge loss to the club, huge loss to Real Madrid fans. His last game will be against Real Betis this weekend at the Bernabeu. So I hope he gets the standing ovation, the applause that he deserves. It would have been nice to know that he was leaving a few games before, because he could have gotten a proper farewell from all the fans and got that recognition that he really deserves. I've always noticed as a Real Madrid fan, Luka Modric has always gotten the standing ovations at the away grounds. Every time we play away somewhere or from the Bernabeu, all the fans are chanting Modric, 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 but Kroos doesn't get that same kind of recognition and love. So it's really a shame that a player, a legend of that quality, of that stature, never really got the recognition that he deserved. But the real ones know. The real ones know the quality, the class that this guy exudes. This guy is as reliable as they come. And man, what a terrible loss. What do you guys think Real Madrid should do? Should we go into the transfer market and try to sign a player that can break lines, a really strong progressive passer? Or do we find a way to grow other players in the squad into those positions? Players like Arda Güler looks special. Camavinga can now try to force his way into the lineup. Tchouaméni could cement his place in the team and say that he's undroppable. So there could be other players who can now step up as a result of this. Undoubtedly, we will miss the quality that he brings to our team. He has had 9 assists this season already, and many of those assists were really critical ones in moments where we really needed somebody to step up, and he did. So thank you, Toni Kroos, for an amazing 10 years at Real Madrid. And yeah, let's give him a Champions League final to commemorate his time at Real Madrid. Thank you for watching. Hala Madrid.